Now that we're running our code base in two separate environments, what we can do is we can use what are called environment variables. Environment variables are variables that we can set on the operating system level and read them from there instead of storing them in our repository. For example, in allowed hosts, if I were to say os.environ.get, and then I'm going to say c9 underscore hostname. Because an environment variable called c9 hostname exists on the operating system level of every Cloud9 workspace, I can just read the hostname from that variable instead of having to hard code it into the project. So what I can do then as well is I can say os.environment.get hostname, and that we can set that then inside of Heroku. The next thing that I can change here is I can change this database connection string. So I'll just delete that big long string and say os.environ.get and say database URL, which is the name of the variable on Heroku. So let's go ahead now over to Heroku and we'll set our host name. So I'm going to go to my settings tab in the dashboard. I'm going to copy my URL, my host name, so simple-django-to-do.herokuapp.com. And then I'm just going to create a new config var. So we call it host name, and we give it a value of simple-django-to-do.herokuapp.com. So now I don't need to specify that value inside of my project anymore. It means if my hostname changes, then I can just make sure that I have a hostname value set. So if I were to move it to django-to-do.herokuapp, I wouldn't need to change my allowed hosts. So I'm going to push this change now. I'm going to say git add django_to-do settings.py. We're going to commit this, and we will give this a commit message of update settings to use environment variables. I can go ahead and push that now. So I'll put git push origin master, and I will pop in my username and password for GitHub. Cool, that's done. So now if I head over to the deploy section, or sorry, not deploy section. If I go to the activity section, we can see now that there is a build in progress. Because the webhook kicked in and retrieved the latest code that I just pushed to GitHub. So with our automated GitHub, every time we push, Heroku will automatically pull in the latest code and run it. So once this has built, we'll be able to check it out in the browser to make sure that everything still works. And that's that done. If I refresh, everything still works the way it should. There's no errors been thrown at all. So let's just double check this by making a change. So I'll go into in my to-do app. I will open up my templates and I will update the title of to-do_list.html. So it will say to-do list instead of document. And we can go ahead then and I'll push this change. And once this change has been pushed, we should be able to then see the title of the template being changed on our Heroku. So git add to do /templates /to do _ list.html. Then we do git commit with the message of update title on the to do _ list.html file. And then we go ahead and we push that to GitHub. So git push origin master. Once again, I'll pop in my credentials. Okay, that push was complete. And now we'll head back over to the activity tab on the dashboard. Let's just give it a sec to pull in the changes. And now it's starting the latest build. So because of the changes that we made in this push, we made some visual changes instead of just changing settings. So we should now be able to see the proof of our automated deployment process. Okay, so that's completed. If I go refresh my page now, I should get a tile of to-do list. And there we go. It's updated from document to to-do list.